For years that I've been doing video editing and music productions, the only computer I use is a Dell laptop that was given to me by my father as a gift years ago, rocking an old 3rd gen Core i5 Intel CPU with no discrete graphics card and a single stick of 8GB RAM. Technically, not for productive and gaming use. Editing videos and producing music would take me hours to finish due to the fact that the programs I use crashes frequently, and the only games I play was Valorant and Dota 2, which I can only play under 60 FPS, and yeah, it also crashes frequently. So after a long negotiation, I asked my father to build ourselves a custom mid-range gaming PC. Some of the parts we've bought are from Amazon delivered in the United States and brought back here in the Philippines, because the prices there are way cheaper compared to the prices here in our country. Although I know how to build a PC, we would not be able to build it ourselves due to the parts so expensive that we would not risk damaging it from our own hands. The building process would be done by people from PC Express or the NETA branch while we supervise. Starting off with the CPU, we went for the Intel Core i5-12600K. It has 10 cores that are sufficient for multitasking programs and gaming, and an integrated graphics for faster render times in video editing. I went with the Intel platform because during the time of buying it, 12th gen was newer and faster than AMD's 5000 series. Now for the motherboard, I chose the MSI Z690 Tomahawk. It is a DDR4 motherboard with 4 M.2 slots, which is great for upgrading storage. It can overclock both RAM and CPU for squeezing more performance out of it. For the memory, I had a dilemma when choosing the right RAM. I could go for a 16GB kit with RGB on it or a 32GB kit without RGB for the same price. So I chose the latter and got ourselves a Ripjaws V 32GB 3200MHz CL16 kit. 32GB for RAM is overkill for just gaming, but can be useful for video editing, music production, and streaming. Next up is the storage. I went for a very fast Gen 4 SSD, which is the Western Digital Black SN850. It can reach 7GB per second read speeds and 5.3GB per second write speeds, which is an overkill. It does not increase the FPS of games, but it increases loading times of the games and transferring large files very quickly, suitable for my production needs. Housing all the hardware would be the Fantex P500A DRGB. It has 3 included PWM 140mm fans in the front, as a USB-C Gen 2, 2 USB 3.0s, and an RGB header. For the juice, we got an MSI MAG A850GF with an 850 watts of power, fully modular, 80 plus gold, and a rated A tier in the PSU cultist list. It is enough for the whole system and for future upgrades as well. For a small addition on aesthetics and airflow, I added a custom PSU extension cable from Asia Horse and 3 120mm fans from Fantex for a neutral pressure in airflow. Now to cool the CPU, I went for the Deepcool AK620. I chose an air cooler, a very chunky one, over a liquid AIO. I would rather not risk having pump noises, pump failure, or a leak inside the system. Besides, an air cooler like Deepcool AK620 can handle the TDP of the i5-12600K. And lastly, the graphics card. We went for the EVGA for the Win 3 RTX 3070. Went for Team Green because it has great drivers, great features such as DLSS 2.0, and support for different productivity suites. Now for the moment of truth. We will power on the system for the very first time. And it was gorgeous. The build came out spectacularly without issues. Now we would take it back home and install Windows and drivers into it. The whole setup would not be complete without peripherals. Starting off with the monitor, we went with the MSI Optix G27CQ4, a 27-inch VA panel curved monitor with a 1440p resolution and a 165Hz refresh rate. It would not be ideal to use a 1080p monitor on a graphics card built for 1440p. And for the mouse, we went and got the most popular one, which is the Logitech G502 Hero. Lastly, for the keyboard, we got the Logitech G512 Carbon, a wired keyboard with a brown tactile switch suitable for both typing and gaming. Due to the outcome of the build having an industrial look into it, I decided having a theme of a steampunk rusty orange setup, and here is the result. I know that I could have a better and powerful system if I adjusted my parts a bit, like for the SSD, case, and even the RAM. But I am very happy that it turns out great. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on to the next one.